Let's face it, life isn't easy. If you're stuck in a bad relationship, betrayed or afraid of tomorrow, financially insecure, or desperate for a breakthrough, you've come to the right place. Dr. Carmen Harra is a renowned psychologist, intuitive, relationship expert, and best-selling author, and she's here to give you the miracle guidance you need. Her new call-in show, Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life, offers profound wisdom, practical advice, daily exercises, and empowering predictions, all for you. Dr. Harra's show aims to eliminate everyday problems, big and small, with topics like healing your relationships, reclaiming your power, achieving better health, dealing with loss, and so much more. Regain the joy, stability, and fulfillment you deserve to feel. Tune in to Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life with host Dr. Carmen Harra, live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and find the answers you've been looking for.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Miracle Guidance. I'm your host, Dr. Carmen Harra. So excited to be live every Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Home Time Radio, and have the opportunity to do a calling show, so to communicate with you. And this is what I love to do. I always introduce you a topic, and I want you to participate, to tell me what you think about, and share with me your own experiences, and ask me your questions if I can be of any help. But tonight, I want to teach you the truth about your karma, because everybody talks about karma for many years. And I wrote a book on karma more than 22 years ago, and the book was called Everyday Karma. By that time, the publish industry was different. We used to do tours. I tour all over America, selling probably over 1 million books. I'm still excited to think about my first book, endorsed actually by Deepak Chopra, and Deepak told me, "Oh, I wish I had this opinion or this idea," and wrote myself a book on karma. But anyhow, I am proud that I did this book, and it was just the beginning of my career as an author. And very soon I'm publishing my 10th book, so time flies, and the more you try to come up with new concepts and new ideas, the more you go back to the beginning and realize how significant it is to understand this concept of karma. So the law of karma says that what you reap is what you sow. But is that always a bad thing? No, it's not. A common misconception we hold is that karma is something punishing us. It's some punishing law. But this is so far from the truth. In fact, this definition doesn't even begin to skim the surface of the number one principle of the universe, which is the principle of karma. Now, the reality is that karma will give you exactly what you need, both good and bad. It's coming to teach you necessary lesson and help you evolve. So in this hour, I want to help you discover how to resolve all karma, understand negative karmic cycles, and bring in your blessing. I'll always show you how to get karma on your side so that it rewards you every day with joy and fulfillment. And don't think of karma like something, as I said, like a punishing law, but as a law of restitution. And think of karma as the number one law of spirituality. And I honest to God tell you that karma is a misunderstood concept. It's not quite what goes around comes around, and how you treat others is how they will treat you. The Sanskrit word karma means actually the force of your thoughts and your deeds. It's like this energy, this force that manifests as your beliefs, as your emotion, as your action. Now, the energy of karma becomes woven into your personal energy field and into your consciousness. It gets attached to your soul and stays there lifetime after lifetime until you understanding, until you resolve it. Now, in a way, it's like a tattoo that can be removed. Cannot be removed without a lot of work. Now, some people claim they can remove a tattoo, but I think it's not an easy thing to achieve. What karma actually creates, it creates memory. And in my definition of karma is very simple. Karma is at the end of the day, the memory of your soul. And when you think of karma, you think of the trinity, the triangle, the three elements that define a concept. Now, let's talk about the three truths about karma, the three elements that define the concept of karma. So, because if we understand the elements of karma, you understand the concept in itself. So, it's extremely significant to understand this. I can see that I have a lot of callers. Pauline, my lovely Pauline Delaney, that I love. Julia, that she's always my wonderful friend. So you guys hold on the line. I'll be with you in a moment. But let me go back briefly to the three elements that define the concept of karma. The first truth about karma. Karma is the accumulation of every thought, every intention, every action from you in this life and from previous life. Everything that you sometimes do more or less consciously based on the memory that exists in the reactive side of the brain, in the subconscious mind. And that memory kicks in and it makes you do certain things that are so motivated by what already exists within you. So many times you ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I attracting these people? What kind of a lesson I'm supposed to learn from this experience? But whatever actions you have taken, the lasting effect, so the lasting effects of everything in the universe is reflected on you, because the universe is energy and everything is connected to the field of energy. It's like what happens when you drop a stone into a pool. It ripples, and you can watch things moving outward, like rocking a small stick of the water surface and changing the reflection of the sky in the water. It's such an interesting phenomenon. The same thing is all your action send waves of energy outward. So what you think, what you act sends waves of energy outward, affecting others in ways greater than you can imagine. Now, some action create bad karma because you are hurting others, whether you know it or you don't. But if your actions are loving and kind and make others feel happy, at peace, loved, and valued, then you are generating that great, excellent karma. So having a clean karmic record is actually freeing your spirit. So that's the first truth of karma. Understand what you've been accumulating through the way you've been acting. That's why my book is called Everyday Karma. The things that you did on a daily basis, your thoughts, your intention, your action, since you wake up in the morning till you go to sleep at night. So that is the truth about your karma, the accumulation of everything you do. Sometimes, you don't see the long-lasting effect of something that you've been karmically generating, but the memory becomes part of your consciousness, and also, your consciousness is part of the collective consciousness of the universe that all our minds are connected to. It's exactly how should I put it? The subconscious memory is or can resurface at any given moment if the right situation presents itself. So let's say each time you experience a thought or an emotion, a neuron in the brain fire off electrical impulses that create or reinforce a certain situation that reach to another neuron and then to another. It's like that expanding that effect to an entire network of neurons, creating a path of action, of thought, of behavior. And it's interesting how the brain works. So if, let's say, if your path is the path of distress, anxiety, jealousy, if you're experiencing those feelings, and then you will have thoughts that will support those feelings. So the neuron will expand and support what you are feeling. Unless you forge a new path, you stay on that path. And it's very hard. It's very hard to break patterns of behavior. That's why, this is what you learn in psychology, how fascinating it is how people create patterns of behavior and then they cannot break through them, and they become stuck in that network of neurons that are built to support a certain action, thought, or intention that might not be necessarily positive. Let's say you are driving and you going towards home, but in fact you are meant to stop to a store, but then you get distracted and your mind can go on autopilot. It will efficiently send you into the road without realizing, because you're actually not paying attention. The same thing happens in your relationship. You stumble down the same road. You found yourself not speaking up when you're supposed to speak up when you feel disrespected, or you start arguments about something instead of avoiding talking about what's really bothering you. So what I'm trying to say is the karma you create by not being straightforward with yourself, with your partner, with the people in your life, it's creating real problems that accumulate. And again, you find yourself uncomfortable and challenged to resolve the things that you already established and break those patterns I'm talking about. So you operate on an autopilot. And this is what I'm noticing a lot of people doing, and they come to me for counseling. They operate on an autopilot. And in this uncomfortable situation, you will continue to meet the same results. So your brain perpetuates the same reality over and over. And that's when you don't understand why your life is still experiencing a situation that you don't want to experience anymore, that you're tired of them and you think you're done with them. Now, this is the first truth of karma. The second one is karma can actually be resolved, can actually be healed. And changing your karmic pattern of behavior and your karma overall is easier than trying to, for instance, to change people. It's much harder to change people than changing your karma. Now, transforming karma is not easy. It requires time, effort, understanding. And first, however, you have to become aware of it, because if you're not aware of your wrongdoing, if you're not aware that you hurt yourself through your own action, if you're not aware that you are causing problems to others, that you're not aware. That means allowing yourself to become defensive if somebody's telling you you're wrong or you did something wrong. Your ego will try to keep you from admitting that you play a role in all your problem. Now, I see this every day. People calling me and claiming this, going wrong, this, but they don't see the role they play in your problem. And this is where the truth is. It's easy to blame your kids, your parents, your spouse, your coworker, but deep down, you have to feel that somewhere something you are doing wrong. So pay attention to that feeling and listen to that voice inside you that says, why did you do this? It's impossible to control what others do, but if you master your own action, which is your karma, you can control the way you feel, the way you think, the way you act. And in return, this will change the outlook between you and your partner. So you need to be always aware how your behavior affects others, and how the way you act and intend and talk will affect others. So becoming aware of your action and thoughts, which is your karma, will help you find yourself one day in the wrong road thinking, how did I get here? I meant to go somewhere else. I meant to achieve something else. I meant to be somewhere else in my life. So you must develop the habit of being mindful and receptive. If you are constantly thinking about tomorrow or last week and what happened 10 years ago, it might happen again. You are the person who you cannot change. You are not being mindful. How you are perpetuating. You don't want to perpetuate your intention, your karma, and create the same situation over and over. Now, third, you understand that your karma's nature and origin is important to be defined. So you can appreciate why it's so powerful and so sort of difficult to accept some situations. But then I said, it's not easy to change everything I'm talking about. And my intention is not that you go and judge yourself or the people you care about, but just to create, a new reality by identifying the things that you're doing wrong. If you become aware of what you're doing karmically and commit to yourself to create a new you, like a new good karma that heals the old one, then you have all the power in the world to change your habits, to change the pattern of behavior, to resolve the things that you did wrong. Then the people around you will act differently in response to the change that happens within yourself. So that's very significant to know. So in this way you change, you become stronger, more aware, more enlightened, and you're not having the same frustration in dealing with other people. The relationship will change. Probably more people are not going to be so happy that you no longer conform to them. But one of the things that I wrote in my book, The 11 Eternal Principle, states that like attracts like, or what you experience in life, you will attract. But when you transform, your reality transforms. When you transform, this is one of the positive results of changing your karma by changing who you are. Now, the third truth of karma is resolving your karma. That's action. That's action. If you're stuck, then you're stuck. So then don't be surprised. There's a phrase, I'm stuck. I do every day the same thing. And people come to me complaining about being stuck. They admit that there is something they're struggling and they're falling victim to unwanted repetitions of old patterns of behavior. Now, time is very fluid. It can stand still. And it's interesting that the worst thing that can happen is entering periods of stagnancy. And a lot of people feel pain when they go into period of stagnancy. But most of us don't act in the right time. We cause ourselves more suffering by acting in the wrong time. We don't understand the concept of divine timing. We don't understand the force that is behind it. We always, we wrongly think, if it doesn't happen to me, it will never happen. Instead, we should wait for the karmic will to come around in our favor. So that's the wisdom of applying the karmic understanding into our life. And I can talk about this for hours, but my show is limited. I have a lot of calls and I need to take a break. So I'm going to take a break, then go to Pauline, then go to, I think, Darlene, and then to Julia. So you guys hold on the line. I'll be with you in a moment.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. Om Times Radio. IOM FM.
Om Times Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organisation, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. Om Times, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me The Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on Om Times Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
You came across someone struggling with hunger. How would you recognize them? Would you notice an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for
summer break because she may not be having lunch again until September?
Or a war veteran who's having a hard time
landing a job and getting back on his feet?
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org, brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
And I'm back with this incredible topic. The number one law of the universe is actually the law of karma. But everybody knows about the law of attraction, but these laws, they work with each other. One law is like using one single ingredient to make a soup or to prepare dinner. We need different ingredients. There are different laws. They rely on each other. They are universal laws. They are always the same. They will always stay the same. But if you don't understand them, then you are not in tune with the divine world and not aware of the way this universe works. And you only live by man-made laws, which are so limited, and they can never survive the test of time. But I'm going to go to Pauline. Hi, my lovely Pauline. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Carmen. Can you hear me?
Yes, my love. I can hear you.
I understand this concept so well, but it goes deeper. I know that you know this, but part of the process of releasing karma is because it's like you said, it's like it's like a repetitive thing. Either you're repeating it from a past life, or you just keep repeating the patterns in this life. And like you said, you're not conscious, so you blame other people. It's easy, but if you really become conscious, if you do maybe a past life regression, or even when you meditate, you probably get the answer some way. If your ancestors are involved, you'll find out. You may be, clearing so many things. It's not, it might, but if you just work on yourself first, obviously, once you clear all the ones that you probably brought on yourself, that's easy. If you could even do that, but I think the blockage is if the emotions that you do not forgive, and usually it's more than just forgiving the other person, that's hard enough, but forgiving yourself for whatever you keep repeating, and when you finally realize it, you treat yourself worse than anybody else. You can't forgive yourself, and then you just keep repeating those patterns, and you're not really letting go. And once you finally, and I really believe in that Ho'oponopono, because that I finally understood that, and I finally been using it properly. So, and what Ho'oponopono is, and it's just saying to the person, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. It could be somebody that you had a karma with, past, they died already. You can't go back. You think you can't fix it. You can always fix it, and this is also important for yourself. So when you finally do all that, that's when you really don't have any more karma. I mean, you can get rid of karma by doing that, but you really have to I guess, in your heart of heart, really believe and forgive yourself and forgive the other person. You can't just say, okay, I'll just say it. I used to say, okay, I'll do that. This will be easy, get rid of my karma, but that's not enough. You got to really go, like you say, dig deep, and then you don't repeat those patterns anymore. You truly have been freed energetically. So I really think it's a good, but it's, and in your karma, was it about relationships, that book that you wrote, or is it for everything?
No, so I wrote 2 books on karma. One was my first book many years ago called Everyday Karma, which I defined the whole principle, the whole concept, and then I wrote a book on karma in relationship, the way, this universal law plays a role in the way we relate to other people, and especially to a partner. and sometimes even to other members of the family. So it does play a significant role. And a lot of people have karmic relationships. So I came with the idea that how many types of relationship exist. And one of the very clear type of relationships are karmic relationship, in which people come together because they kind of knew each other. They look at each other, they have a sense of deja vu, like we knew each other before. So we connect right away because we already have something established that exists in the subconscious mind. So we will relate to each other right away. And it's fascinating how people who have karma together, it means they have something to resolve. And karmic relationships are very intense. So I don't know if you experienced, probably you've experienced one like this too.
Oh yeah, I have experienced it. I'm still dealing with
a relationship that is so intense that it overwhelms you. It takes up all of your time, and you just want to fix that relationship, and you don't really know exactly what to do to solve it.
Imagine if you've had many lives with this person and you didn't learn the lesson. You keep coming back and they're different people every lifetime.
One of the reasons that particular person comes into your life because you have something there for a while unhealed and unresolved. So the lesson is identify what it is that you need to resolve, because a lot of cases in which two people, when they resolve the karma they have to resolve, they can walk away from each other and go separate ways and never look back. And they will never meet again because their karma is healed and resolved, unless they are really soulmates, unless they, other than the karmic imprint, there are other components in the relationship.
Yes, definitely. I agree with you about that. Yeah, my experience has shown me that. And I'm sure, especially when I've had problems with somebody, when they actually drive me crazy, and until they don't drive me crazy, I keep going back until I whatever it is, I've got to resolve it.
Right.
Like, if I have any charge, then that means it's not done. And I just keep going and resolve it. But even if it brings up the worst things that I have to discuss, I don't know why. I just keep doing it. And eventually, I could become friends with the person after we resolved it all. It's not even, we don't have to stay together, just, friends again.
Definitely. That's exactly the way this karmic relationship works. Yeah.
I don't want any negativity to leave it, even if we want to end the relationship. Just nice, and that's the way it should be. It should always be that way. Wish each other well and move on. You don't need to stay with that person and be friends with them anymore. But yeah, and don't blame each other. And that's what we, like you said, if you're just going to point fingers at the other person, you really got to think about it. Why is this happening? It's not just the other person. What's on the outside is on the inside, really. So every time you judge anything outside of yourself, you better start thinking about where is that in you, because that's the only reason you're judging anybody.
Exactly.
You have no reason to judge. All right, well, thank you. I'll let you move on.
I love you, my Pauline. Thank you for being part of my show. Like always, you're the best. I love you. I'm going to go to Delani. Hi, my love. How are you, my dear?
I'm doing good. How are you?
So good to hear your voice. How can I help you?
I actually love talking about this topic. This was my first book of yours that I read. And I recently have been having trouble cutting energetic ties with a karmic partner. And I would love to hear some advice on how to energetically get this person out of my head, my mind. Like the last few days, I've had dreams about them 3 days in a row. And it's getting crazy.
So if a relationship is karmic, it means there is something there that you need to identify. And you have to think, why is this person in my life? What am I learning? What it is between me and this person that needs to be healed, that needs to be resolved? What memories do we both, manifesting here in this life right now? Bringing it from past life, from somewhere. And so you need to identify, before you do anything else, were you able to identify the reason of that person? What is that person teaching you? What is the lesson that you're learning?
That's what's so hard to identify, because our whole dynamic is kind of like runner-chaser, with me being the chaser, and I just don't know like, I don't feel like he is open to resolving whatever issues. I don't think.
Okay, so you're saying he's not open to help you identify what's going on here. But you know, karmic relationships are very intense. Do you feel this relationship is very intense, an intense one?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, and you want to walk away from him. What is the reason of you wanting to get him out of your life?
I don't think it's serving my highest purpose anymore.
Okay. So, but do you think you learned something by having him in your life? Was this beneficial for your soul evolution? Do you feel like I've learned the lesson is learned, I can walk away from this? Do you feel this way?
I feel like that.
Is he also letting you go, or he's not letting you? What is his behavior towards you?
He is inconsistently in my life. Like,
yeah,
comes and goes.
I also feel like he's not letting you go, if you agree with me.
Yeah,
I also
agree
feel he's not making you feel fulfilled. You also don't see future between you two.
Yeah, that's exactly
you feel
how
like
I feel.
you're not. Do you agree with me?
I do. That's how I feel.
Like you're not going anywhere. You get stuck with him somewhere. You reach a certain point and is not getting anywhere from there. It stops there. And you feel trapped. You feel trapped. You don't know whether you can be with this person. You cannot be. This person comes and goes. You don't know when he's coming. You don't know when he's leaving. And it's very very unfair. It's wrong. You feel you cannot achieve anything. You get stuck into this pattern of behavior that is very unhealthy, actually, at the end of the day. It's an unhealthy situation.
Yes, I agree. I agree with everything you said.
I think that if we speak about it, it makes you find the strength to say, I'm cutting him out. I can, at this point in time, I can say, I forgive him, I let him go, but I don't want him in my life because I want to open a door to something better, to something different, to something new, to something fresh, with something that's making me fulfilled, something that's bringing me that balance, that stability that I'm not having here. If I continue to stay in this situation, I'll be in this situation 5 years later because I'm not moving forward. And you consciously acknowledge this. So when you consciously acknowledge a certain process that's happening to you, you find the strength to put it on the side. And you will find the strength to even tell him straightforward that you think you're not fit for each other and you reach a dead end. Or you simply can, at some point, which is very common today, you can block him and move forward. And I think that will be making you feel free. It's like you feel relieved. You feel, I did it. I'm done with this. This chapter is closed. I can open a big door. I see a big door in front of me. I step through that door and I never go back. I'm not going to look back. The past is closed. I close the door, like visualizing closing a door behind you, that the energy of the past does not step into your present and does not come into your future. Your future has a brighter, lighter, different energy that is going to be so much fulfilling, so much better for your mind, for your health, for your well-being overall. So that's what you're going to do. And I promise you'll be able to do it very soon. I'm cutting with you. We're cutting the ties. We're cutting the vibration energy that existed between you that seems unhealthy at this point because it's not moving. So when things are not moving, it becomes stagnant. They get sick. It's like a sickness of your soul. You feel sick in a way, sick of this guy, sick of the situation.
I do. And I really appreciate
I promise you, you'll break through this. You'll break through this. It's going to be right away. I want you to see that new person coming into your life and say, I deserve better. You know, I have something else ahead of me. This is not what I'm supposed to settle for. This is not for me. This is not good anymore. And also acknowledge that you learn what you're supposed to learn. Whatever lesson you had to learn from this person, the lesson has been learned. And you're moving on.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
I love you.
For the reassurance.
Call me, Delaney, anytime and let me know how you're doing. But I promise you very soon, in probably weeks or a month or 2 months from now, you will be on a different path. And that path opens the door to a new beginning, to a new future, to somebody else. And that's what you need. Evolve. Move from this stage of your life into, make a step up forward into somebody who's really the right person for you. So cut the cord to the negative karmic imprint and move into creating a good karmic imprint for your next chapter in the book of your life.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, my angel, I love you. I'm going to take a short break and then I'm going to go to Julia. So, Julia, don't go anywhere. I'll be back in one moment.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. Om Times Radio. IOM FM.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of Om Times Magazine's flagship radio show, What is Going Om. My passion is sifting through information, research, and innovations from new thought teachers, speakers, and researchers, pushing back the boundaries of what we know about life, energy, metaphysics, and the universe. I love shifting perceptions about who we are, why we're here, and how quickly impossible becomes normal when we open our minds, expand our awareness, and accept that the only limits that exist are those we place upon ourselves. So if you're the kind of forward-thinking, eager investigator of what lies beyond the current reality that most perceive, why not make a date to come play with me in the field of possibilities at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday, and together we can discover what's really going on.
If I could be you.
And you could be me for just 1 hour.
If you could find a way
to get inside
each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Yes, I'm back. It's Carmen Harra. It's very painful to cut off patterns of relationship, especially if you're becoming attached to somebody, exactly like I was telling Delaney. So you're involved with somebody, you become attached. It's very hard to cut off that person. But remember that it only hurts once and never has to hurt again. As you are ready to bring someone new, a new type of person, to whom you can foster a healthy relationship. Don't stay in dysfunctional relationship. Don't stay in toxic relationship. I don't know if I can recommend that, but go to my site, carmenharra.com. I have many, many TV shows that I did recently on different stations in America, in which I talk about dysfunctional relationship and toxic relationship. I even talk about Kardashian, Kim, and Kanye West and how dysfunctional that relationship was. And I want you to listen to some of those shows, so that, because I don't have enough time on the radio tonight to discuss this type of relationship. And one day I'm going to do a show on this. But in life you have to be good to yourself. Even if that means being honest to yourself and accept your weaknesses, because sometimes we are weak. We don't want to cut off somebody. But you have to create good karma in relationship too. You have to balance the karmic life, and the karmic relationship, not only to speak. So I'm just trying to make you understand that you have this karmic debt to yourself. The karmic debt means something that you own it to yourself. So keep on creating a certain pattern of behavior that you don't have to overspend by overdo things by not paying attention to your words and to your action, because that happens all the time. Those so bad karma that you create to you or to others becomes accumulated. It grows like weeds, and becomes greater, and creates an unbalance because your positive action, your negative action, your good karma, your bad one. So that's why I said pay attention to all your karmic debts that you have, and make a list of who is the person you have a karmic connection with, and how can you resolve it. It's a lot of work, but it can be done. I'm going to go to Julia. Hi, my lovely Julia. How are you?
Thank you, dear. How are you doing, Carmen? I'm fine.
I am good. You?
Good. What I would do without your miracle guidance, I don't know what I will do.
You're so sweet.
Really.
Tell me.
I have an important question for you tonight.
Sure.
I'm calling on behalf of my friend. He's from Turkey. His name is Arjan. And I met him on the beach in an afternoon a week ago. His mother doesn't remember very well the date of birth. He told me that in his ID, his date of birth is 10 of November, 1992. And his question is, am I the right girl for him? Is he the right man for me? Because I think we have a karmic connection.
But you know what? You make me laugh. Isn't that supposed to be the question that you have, not him?
Yeah.
When are you born, Julia? What's your birthday?
13 July.
July 13,
Yeah, 1990.
1990, hold on. Oh, talking about karmic relationships. So this relationship is absolutely karmic. So you met this man who you knew, and the connection is very strong. Do you agree?
Yes, I do.
Karmic relationship become intense from the first second. It's somebody that you feel drawn to, and you cannot explain why, because you don't even know the person. So you probably had that. So this relationship has a lot of potential, and is very, very, how should I say, interesting in nature, because it has all those memories. So tell him that yes, you're more than the right girl from him, and you came in his life for a major reason, and you guys have to sit and identify what's the reason here. Find out the true reason of connecting, and what is he for you, what lesson you are teaching him, what lesson he is teaching you. And then do this, introspect this work, and then let me know within a week or two where you stand with him.
Okay, I do that, because I know we have to learn a lesson, but his question is bigger than that, if I'm the right one for him. But you described to me someone else, and he knows that.
There's one thing that is clear. Between you and this man, there are some memories. So there's a reason of meeting him. What I want you to identify in the following days and weeks who he really is. What is this memory that you need to remember? Why? What happened between you two? And why are you back together on earth? What it is that you need to heal, to resolve. Some people reunite after having a life in which, all of a sudden one of them died or something happened, and they meet again. That's my belief system. And we are the result of our beliefs. So if you and him both believe that there's something bringing you back in this life, then identify what is that particular experience that brought you together? Is it that you were family in one life? Was he your brother before? Is this supposed to be your soulmate in this life? Without a doubt, you'll find out all of this. So go, both of you, and try to introspect what has happened between you two.
Yes. Yeah, he also told me that he had an interesting dream that he didn't know how to distinguish. Are there any other callers on the line, or can I ask you the next time?
No, there's more callers waiting, yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Carmen, and I appreciate you.
But I can, ask me briefly, so what is the question?
No, it was like a dream. He saw a lady, a young woman with a grandma, and he married this girl in his dream. But then this girl is telling him that she's pregnant and she is ill. So then he saw a...
Well, that's a fascinating dream. We can talk about this because there's a lot to interpret in this dream.
Yes, to
the presence of the child, the other woman, the idea of the marriage is not what it... You know, a dream is always symbolic. It might have a total different meaning that you may be tempted to interpret. So tell him the meaning is completely opposite than what he thinks.
Yes, of course.
The symbolistic is different. We can talk about this another time. But I love you, Julia. Thank you for calling me, my dear.
I love you so much. Thank you so much.
Me too.
Bye,
okay, my love. I'm going to go to Susan. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Carmen. How are you?
Hi, beautiful Susan. How are you, my love?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. I'm just curious, you know, I've been trying to be more social and outgoing, but I'm not really meeting the people that I think I'm supposed to meet. So I don't know if you have any ideas about places to go to meet people, you know, in a different atmosphere, the right people.
You know, nowadays it's very hard to meet people. But people try to date online. There's a lot of online activity because you're not the person to go and sit in a bar, you know, and just attract anybody in your life. You know, you're somebody who want your real match. You want somebody real in your life, somebody that you can build a life with. And that's not quite easy, but I do believe that that's going to happen to you relatively quickly. That intuitively, I feel that you're about to meet this person. Now, do you think you've solved all the issues of the past, so like you close doors to your past, or no?
I think I have, yeah. I feel like I have.
Because anytime you feel you're ready to meet but it's not happening, is because there's still something there unresolved from your past. So make sure that none of the people in your past, they are still in lingering or still in contact with you. Cut the cord with any other boyfriends. Are you still in touch with any man from your past?
I try to remain friends with some people, you know, just because they don't have any family.
Right. Okay, I understand. But not really that you are, how should I say, that you... Mm-hmm.
I'm not intimate or romantically involved with anybody.
Okay, that's good. It's interesting. I have a feeling like you're going to meet somebody a little bit younger. Did I tell you this before?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like it's part... Are you on trying any social, like dating online or anything?
I did Ascending Hearts for a little bit, but then not much happened, so I gave that up.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
I've been going out biking. I've been out biking a lot, mountain biking, and going to different, you know, going to the bookstore and going to different places rather than just a bar, like you said.
Right. No, if you go to places, like you said, like events, bookstores and stuff like that, you're going to meet this person August, September, somewhere right around the corner. I feel this person is meant to come into your life, and I do strongly feel and believe that this is about to happen. So I want you to picture this person, create an image in your head, because what is in your mind, you create in your reality. So that's why we said we have dreams of a sudden wedding, or dreams of being married to a prince, or to, so imagine in your mind who is that person. So you will be surprised to see that you might attract somebody who has similar features or pretty much similar with what you want. Because that would be ideal. And we have this ability, with that human, we have ability of manifesting reality. So I feel like you will be able to manifest in your reality somebody who's really good for you. Because I don't think you had anyone significant so far. Do you agree?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is okay. It can happen, It can happen. It can happen to a lot of people. Like you feel, where is my significant other? Will I ever meet somebody who's the right match for me? And then I feel like in your case, somebody like that would just appear. The more you work consciously, and the more you project, and the more you envision that person, the more you take a notebook and write down how you want him to be. Did you read my book on archetypes?
No, I read the Everyday Karma book. I read that one.
Read this one, Committed, Finding Love Through the 7 Archetype, and let me know, whenever you have a minute to call me back on the show, what archetype are you? If you identify yourself, the reason I'm saying that, I want you to attract into your life your right partner by attracting that archetype that matches yours. So if you're a specific archetype, you want to bring into your life somebody who has the same characteristic like you do, or he's just a reflection of that. Because this is the only way when a relationship survives. If two people are a match at the level of who they really are. So, because otherwise we can attract somebody we feel connected to, somebody who feels charismatic. But then in a month later, a year later, we are completely go separate ways because we're not a match at that profound level of being. So that's why I wrote a book on archetypes, in order for people to find their own match based on who they really are, psychologically speaking. So it's a book that is more psychological, but explains in simple terms which type, which category you belong to, If you are, let's say, a hopeless romantic, or if you are an independent, or if you are, what type, what characteristic define your personality traits?
Okay.
And this will be very helpful. So you can find this book on Amazon. And it's not that I want to get it on Kindle. It's like $3 or $5. It's nothing. It's the price of a coffee. But if you go deep into the meaning of the book, you will actually discover yourself and have the ability to identify who's actually good for you. And you can reach to some conclusion. And when you find the person who's good for you, in your mind, you project those characteristics so that you attract and bring in somebody whose definition of commitment matches yours.
Okay.
And this is the only way things are going to work and survive time, because you want a relationship that will last for many, many years, and he will be your support. He will bring the joy, the balance, the stability, the happiness that you need. But this is the only way a relationship will actually last. That's why we have so many divorces in the world, because people are not a match.
Right. Okay.
And they're not a match, not only at the energy, they're not a match at the way they express themselves, the way they manifest themselves,
So if I'm just being friends with prior relationships from years ago, like we might text each other once in a while, should I just completely cut them off of being texting? Or, I would feel bad that,
No, you can keep friendship, you can keep, but don't think of them like anyone who represents your future, or anybody that you can think romantically. Think of them, detach the romance out of the story if you can. So take away your attachment. You know what, we as human, what we are wrong, we attach. When we get very attached, then that's when the problem starts. So I just don't want you to be attached. I want you to be removed and detached and just keep the friendly aspect of the connection, because if you still have an energetic attached to that person, you won't be able to bring in the next person.
Okay, yeah, that's I'm just friends, and it's just occasionally we text each other occasionally just to say hi.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I know.
Well, thanks.
Okay, my lovely. Thank you so much for calling me, and call me anytime in the future and let me know which archetype you are. I'm really curious with you.
Okay, thank you.
I love you. And for everybody listening, I'm Carmen Harra. I had so much to talk to you tonight, but I hope I was able to define a little bit of concept of karma. But I'll be with you next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Home Time Radio. Thank you so much for listening, and may you have a wonderful weekend, and be blessed. And I'm very, very, very happy and grateful that you're listening to my show.